I am pleased to share my presentation with you on Ali Carr-Chelmann. I decided to study her impact on the field of instructional design because her areas of focus align with my own interests and approach to education and learning. Carr-Chelmann initially attended Ohio State University, where she completed undergraduate coursework in elementary education. She then worked as a teacher before moving on to Syracuse University, where she earned her BS and MS. Following that, she worked for a few years as an instructional designer before pursuing her doctorate in instructional systems technology from Indiana University, Bloomington. In Carr-Chelmann's early years, she worked as a computer instructor, third grade teacher, and director of instruction at Sylvan Learning Center. After earning her MS, she worked for several years as an instructional designer for McDonnell Douglas in Denver, Colorado. In this position, she designed fighter jet pilot training for the Navy. Carr-Chelmann then went on to pursue her PhD from Indiana University. Carr-Chelmann has worked at Pennsylvania State University for 22 years. She started out as an assistant professor, then an associate professor, and then finally in 2006 became a full professor of education. She served as program head for instructional systems from 2000 to 2006 and has been the department head for learning and performance systems since 2010. Carr-Chelmann's views on the educational status quo are seen by many as controversial. At the same time, her research interests are varied. As she stated in a Learning.org interview, and I quote, "After I earned tenure, I decided that I really wanted my career to be about broad and important research, not something that was too narrowly constructed." Carr-Chelmann has contributed to the research field in instructional design in many ways, as you can see on this slide. She's researched voice culture in school, gaming as a learning tool, universal design tests, unheard voices in school reform, instructional design for teachers, among other interest areas. You can click on each bulleted area to go directly to that area if you'd only like to listen to that section. Carr-Chelmann asserts that the culture of boys and the culture of schools are out of sync, and that this gap has been widening for years. This has resulted in widening academic performance gaps in schools between boys and girls. Gaps are also evident in measures such as ADHD diagnosis, emotional disturbance diagnosis, special education referrals, and suspensions, expulsions for behavior. Carr-Chelmann advocates for video gaming as a serious vehicle through which to engage boys in learning and hence improve their performance in schools. She has engaged in research to discover how teachers and other stakeholders view the integration of gaming in the curriculum. She has explored specific ways to integrate gaming into instructional design and curriculum in schools. Carr-Chelmann is also doing research into universal design test. She and her team are exploring how new technologies are creating better lay designers. People are now designing their own cyber presence using the tools available such as Facebook, Twitter, and other social media networks. People nowadays are intuitively applying basic design principles and thinking about design issues. Carr-Chelmann is exploring the impact this trend will have on the instructional design field. Carr-Chelmann and her team of researchers have also focused on gathering the unheard voices in school reform. They have interviewed countless homeless people, prisoners, migrant workers, and the working poor to get their insight into what their ideal school would look like. These interviews have been videotaped for the record. The aim is to give the disenfranchised a voice in educational policy and reform dialogue. Many respondents have had a hard time imagining what an ideal school, perfect school, would look like because they've been so powerless. Some trends and themes that have come out are: 1, caring teachers are the most important part of a positive educational experience. Respondents have also pointed out that special education or any other program that pulls out students from mainstream education is also looked on negatively. Respondents have also spoken about school uniforms and the importance of safety in a school to be of prime importance. The interesting part that Carr-Chelmann has noticed about respondents is that the changes that they're interested in are not innovative, rather, they could be considered conservative changes. Carr-Chelmann's ID4T model of instructional design is a scaled-back approach appropriate for classroom teachers' use. This step-by-step approach also integrates ideas on gaming, cyber charters, online classrooms, and flipped classrooms, as well as special considerations for the Common Core. So she's also integrating in this book some of her more popular ideas. In Carr-Chelmann's TED Talk, she describes in detail how gaming can be used to re-engage boys in learning. In this talk, she identified 3 reasons boys are underperforming in schools. She provides stark statistics to demonstrate the serious ramifications of these trends on boys. She also proposes several things that can be done right now to turn this tide around. Please watch. I will end by referring you to some of Carr-Chelmann's recent publications. I encourage you to explore some of her ideas more fully. Thank you very much.